Hi, Jason here, Jason's Trucking Info, and this is the next part in my How to Become a Truck Driver series. And if there's a type of things you're wanting to know, this is my steps that you should take to make your transition into the truck driving world a lot easier and simpler, and to avoid the most common problems that most truckers run into when they're trying to become truck drivers before they ever have their CDL, and they're transitioning from not being a truck driver to get to school and all the stuff you need to do before, during, and after in order to become a truck driver. And the best tips I can give you. Now, I can't go over everything because the truck driving industry is so big. There's 1,000 or millions of companies and schools out there in the nation, and they all work a little differently, and every company is a little different, and so it's impossible for me to cover everything because there's too many types of equipment, different styles of jobs out there, different things to haul, different kinds of equipment, different kinds of trailers, and different kinds of different gizmos and gadgets that you might have at any given particular company that you're going to drive for, and other things you might have to get trained on at any given company. So I cannot cover it all. I just am trying to cover the most common things that hinder most new drivers when trying to become a truck driver, and how most students failed to finish out truck driving school because of these things, and these are the things that are going to help you out the most. All right. One of the things I probably should mention in one of the previous parts is you need to figure out which company you really want to go to, and I suggest you go to a nationwide company instead of a smaller company, so that you learn everything. And you really want to really do due diligence and get the books that you can get at truck stops that have all the different companies in there that do training, and find out where all those companies are located, and or do your due diligence on the internet. Get on your laptop, get on your tablet, whatever, your phone, whatever, and look up where all these companies are located. Maybe you can find something that's close to you, hopefully in your own city and state, because a lot of drivers, a lot of students wind up going out and getting bused, or taking their own vehicle out to another city and state to go to truck driving school. And you're going to want to find out where, if there's something more local, if one of these companies has a training facility with a school near you, then that might be your best option, so that you don't wind up, in case you do run into any snags along the way, that you are closer to home, so that you can get home to take care of any situations that you might have to take care of when you're in the middle of everything. Because it really sucks to have to take care of things by phone, or to have to drive or find some way to get all the way back home to take care of something. So you're going to want to really cross your T's and dot your I's and make sure that you've covered all your bases before you ever go out there. So that's one thing. So once you get out there to truck driving school, you are going to want to study your commercial driver's manual. There's certain sections you're going to want to study that cover pretty much for any company. You're going to want to study the combinations, the general knowledge, the air brakes. Most companies want you to have hazardous materials, but not all. And the hazardous materials endorsement is going to be something that you're going to have to get a fingerprinting and background check done. You're going to have to find out what the current steps to take in order to do that, what the costs are with that. And some of these companies might reimburse you for it. Some of them they might not. That's another question you might want to ask whatever company you might choose to go to, and find out what kind of equipment you're going to be hauling. Are you going to be doing flatbed, dry van, reefer, or some other kind of trailer situation? Is it going to be a tanker? Are you going to have a tanker's endorsement? Are you going to be potentially pulling doubles or triples? Are you going to need the doubles and triples endorsement? And those are all things you're going to need to know. But most generally, combinations, general knowledge, air brakes are the top things you're going to want to study. But it doesn't hurt anything to try to take the tests and get the endorsements for the rest of them. A lot of these endorsements, once you get them on your commercial driver's license, they're there to stay, so long as you don't let your license lapse. If you do let your license lapse for too long, then you might have to retake all that stuff again, and it's a little harder. It's easier to maintain than it is to have to go get them back. So you're going to want to study all those sections, whatever applies to you, where you're going to go work for. And you are going to want to study as much as possible before you ever get out there and start class. Then when you get to class, you're going to be ahead of the game. You're going to already know a lot of the answers to the questions and stuff. And then you can focus on other aspects of things that you might have bigger problems with, such as learning the verbatim of how they want you to go around doing the pre-trip test, and learning how to shift the truck, and learning how to back up the truck, and learning how to do the different backs, so you can focus on all that stuff, and so that you're not having as much stuff that you have to worry about trying to pass. So you really want to study those as much as possible. And if you can find a study partner that you guys can ask each other questions, and then when you're not in class, when you're not out on the back range, if you're not able to go out and practice backing, because whatever your school situation is, whether or not you're at a facility that has your shifting and backing range and all that stuff on location to where you are being, where you have a room at, whether it's a dormitory style thing at your facility, or if they send you to a motel for the night and have to send you by shuttle every morning and every evening back and forth from a hotel or some other facility, those are other things that you're going to have to know. So learn to ask these questions so that you know what you're getting yourself into when you get out there to truck driving school. But you need to be out there practicing as much as you possibly can. You need to be getting in the different lines and be paying attention to what the other students are doing. Pay attention to everything that the instructors say. Do exactly as they say, and practice, practice, practice. And when I first got out there, the truck driving school, I couldn't straight line back. I couldn't hardly do anything. And I got out there and practiced, and I was out there even sometimes by myself practicing stuff. So that's what you want to do, is get out there and just live and breathe and think all that stuff, so that you can be committed to that decision to be successful in your endeavor to become a truck driver. So all right, so this is the next video in my series of how to become a truck driver. And make sure that if you haven't already done so, that you hit that subscribe button below, hit the bell so you're notified of all my upcoming videos, and leave any comments or questions below. If there's anything that you feel I didn't cover, if there's anything I forgot to mention, or if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below and I will reply to those as soon as possible. If you ask a question that I don't know the answer to, I will find out the answer one way or another, and I will get back to you. So thanks guys, thanks for watching this next part of this series of how to become a truck driver. Look forward to the next part, and Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next part of this series. Thanks, guys.